There is no escaping the agony in Beirut. Hospitals already inundated with victims of the explosion are now filling with protesters injured by the security forces. Firas Hamdan told me he was out on the streets last Saturday and whilst filming this Facebook Live was almost killed. You can see the explosion in the centre of the crowd. A metal pellet from what it's thought was a grenade pierced his heart.
I walked for 2 meters and I shut down. I collapsed on the earth and the other colleague, I bring me to here. I am glad to be alive.
It pierced all the chest wall, the heart from side to side, and it lodged into the posterior wall of the heart.
Firas underwent emergency surgery and amazingly he'll make a full recovery. Dr. Karim Neme, who's been treating him, says he's seen more than 50 patients wounded in the protests. Many of the injuries are too graphic to show.
All the injuries were on the upper part of the body, face shots, neck shots, chest injuries. All of these could kill the patients, could kill the protesters.
Lebanon's anti-government protests erupted after the explosion at the port. But human rights activists and doctors claim the methods deployed here by the security services are in breach of international law. Rabi Barakat bears the scars from the tear gas canister. It appeared to have been fired directly at his face. He's come back to the place where it happened to tell us what he remembers.
I had no idea whether this was live ammunition, rubber bullet, or a tear gas bomb. I would really like to know who gave the order to shoot these tear gas bombs straight to our heads, and I would really like to look him in the eye and tell him, was this really necessary?
Human Rights Watch observed these protests firsthand. It's conducted its own investigation.
The evidence is overwhelming. Security forces seem to have fired live ammunition at protesters. They seem to have fired rubber bullets, including at protesters' faces, which is prohibited by international law.
The Lebanese authorities are denying they used excessive force or rubber bullets. But in this country, hollowed out by years of corruption, where people have no faith in the government, it's a response that's unlikely to be believed. Alex Rossi, Sky News, Beirut.